Hello everyone. This is a small tribute on World Environment Day 2020 on the behalf of Microbial Engineering and Algal Biotechnology Laboratory, Department of Biotechnology, JIS University, Kolkata. On this great occasion, Microbial Engineering and Algal Biotechnology Laboratory presents a specific topic and its corresponding discussion on restoring nature towards fight against climate change and biodiversity equilibrium. The entire project has been conceptualized by Dr. Dipankar Ghosh, Assistant Professor, Department of Biotechnology, JIS University, and the concept has been further designed and scripted by MEAB, especially Dr. Ghosh's masters and the PhD research scholars. In this global pandemic situation, it is difficult to maintain an eco-geological equilibrium. Certain anthropological activities are being the main culprit of these drastic alterations. Diverse ranges of stresses on natural ecosystem and biodiversity are increased rapidly due to climate change. Therefore, we need to implement a paradigm shift to restore these natural systems, biodiversity, and to make our globe sustainable by minimizing minor changes. Now, we need to aim to create and initiate the recovery of an imbalanced biogeochemical systems. In order to restore nature, here are some reflections of the current environmental crisis depicted by our team members. Besides increasing the global temperature, climate change is also responsible for the disequilibration of the diversity on the earth. The term biodiversity is defined as the variability of living organisms in Earth in terms of genetic, species, and biogeochemical arena. According to research, it is stated that the creation of imbalance in food chain and the global temperature rises due to climate change are the main reason behind the death of several land, aquatic, amphibian, and avian animals, and ultimately disturbing the balance of biodiversity. Various human malpractices along with massive urbanization are also changing the climate rapidly with time. Urbanization is considered to be a major contributor to the climate change as people used to cut down a large amount of trees and closing water bodies every year for the construction of huge buildings. And this will put diverse types of stresses in nature and biodiversity, including ocean acidification, increasing levels of pollution, disruption in marine ecosystems, soil infertility, habitat destructions, and deforestations, etc. Due to this continued ill treatment on our mother nature, we will have to pay the price and deal with the consequences. We are already facing a large number of these consequences at present. Taking into account the recent evidences like corona outbreak, Amphan cyclone, locust attack, and so on. The only way to protect our mother nature is for us to join hands and help mother nature to breathe again. In this slide, there is a nice picture has been drawn by Dr. Ghosh, which has been presented while he participated in an art competition for World Environment Day organized by Department of Environment, Forest and Climate Changes by Government of Bihar 2020 on 5th June. So in a similar fashion, there are two more pictures has been drawn by Shomasri and Joita respectively, which is clearly depicting the recent evidences on revenge of nature. One representing the Amphan cyclone and the next one representing the corona outbreak, a very drastic situation at present scenario. For the sake of our nature, we have to look for different approaches by which we can re-equilibrate the disequilibration of our ecosystem, including the revegetation, to breathe freely, to regenerate the soil system for agriculture, to maintain the food chain, and also to regain the equilibrium of ecosystem. We have to plant more trees to the deforested areas where the numbers of trees are very less. As plants absorb water from soil and releases into the atmosphere, causing rainfall, we have to perform the reforestation, otherwise it will also cause severe drought. Another important point is the habitat enhancement. In order to maintain the balance of biodiversity, we have to provide habitats to some desired species where they can get enough nutrition and inbreed freely, and those regions should be restricted from hunting and poaching. The process of providing such places to desired species is also termed as the biodiversity conservation. The Biosphere Reserve, Natural Park, worldwide sanctuaries, botanical gardens are some of the examples of regions where we can conserve our endangered species. Then one of the next very important point is the remediations. We have to improve our ecosystem or replacing the previous ecosystem with the new one, with aim of restoring it from various damages. There are several approaches by which we can deal and heal the damage of ecosystem, including removal of pollutants or the contaminants from the environment, such as soil, air, groundwater, sediments or the water surfaces, and via the process of bioremediations. Moreover, artificial or man-made ecosystems can also be made to replace the destroyed ones. Finally, mitigation is an important point. The term mitigation, generally defined as the effect of reduced loss of life and property by lessening the impact of disasters. Effective mitigation requires that we all understand local risk, address the hard choices, and invest in long-term community well-being. Without mitigation actions, we jeopardize our safety, financial security, and self-reliance. This is a nice pictorial presentation to define the different approaches on restoration of nature or ecosystem. Certain approaches like securing high carbon ecosystem, switching to 100% green power, managing supply chain, reducing drivers of reforestation, maintain the methods reducing and reusing, creating incentive for the residing forest people to reserve and conserve the forest, and finally using our voices, being informed and harnessing ecosystem that can apply for the restoration of nature or ecosystem consequently. Then what are the major outcomes upon implementation of restoring nature approaches? Upon implementation of these approaches to restore nature, we can expect the following major outcomes. Vegetation load, nutrient load, which has been previously lost by malpractices of human, will increase drastically. The most beneficial outcome of Mother Nature and us will be the reduced deforestation rates. Only this green planet can return and restore the initial balance of biodiversity which has been lost due to human. Even the environmental biogeochemical cycle will be restored for a more sustainable and greener earth. So finally, attaining sustainable restoration scheme for nature will require substantial changes in the institution and government, economical policies, intensive social and behavioral factors to boost up in the technology and knowledge in various sectors, including agriculture, finance, forestry, trade, to help for indulging greater transparency and accountability of government and public sectors. Another important approach will be taking striking actions against the ongoing illegal hunting and poaching practices to save and maintain the imbalance in our flora in the ecosystem. Let us all join hands and paint our earth greener, as been stated by William Shakespeare. Here it is, one touch of nature makes the whole world keen. This work has been published in an e-souvenir of International e-seminar on biodiversity and human welfare on the occasion of World Environment Day on 5th June 2020, is being organized by Soviet Institute of Engineering and Technology, Meerut. We are very grateful to being a part of this great event. Finally, the entire MEAB laboratory and the roomies would like to thank Professor Bimal Chandra Mal, Honorable Vice Chancellor, JIS University, Kolkata, and JIS Group of Educational Initiatives for their moral support to carry out this extensive literature survey for preparing this documentary. Dr. Ghosh would also like to acknowledge UNICEF Agora Network for a great training on restoring ecosystem through the introduction to water, sanitation and hygiene under the WASH scheme towards general awareness in all over the world. Finally, Dr. Ghosh is highly grateful to his all-doctoral research scholars, especially Shrestha Somnath, who have always worked together and induced Dr. Ghosh for restoring his painting skills. Moreover, Dr. Ghosh is also highly grateful to his MSc research project scholars, namely Dishani, Dia, Shubhashri, Tonni, Rumi, Sneha, Joita, Shomalia, Momita, Shayantoni, Payal, Orpon, Pamela, Ankita, Shomasri and Debraj for their immense support and technical help. Hope you all will like the documentary and appreciate great effort from MEAB Laboratory, Department of Biotechnology, JIS University, Kolkata. Thank you.